In this video, I want to give you the 10 negative traits that most real estate salespeople have that lead to failure. And then I want to show you how to address them so it doesn't happen to you. Hey guys, if you haven't met me yet, my name is Emmanuel. I am the founder and kind of chief talking head guy around here over at Square One Group, where our mission is really to help you identify your expertise and then help you scale your real estate business using systems. That said, really make these videos to try to bring in some new business for you very, very quickly so that if and when you do decide to scale, you keep us in mind. We'd love to work with you. Okay, so today I want to jam on with you specifically about why so many real estate agents fail. And my goal behind this is really simple. It's to put these traits on your radar so that you can start seeing these blind spots before they happen and course correct before they end up leading you down this negative pathway where you just really can't dig yourself out of. And this pathway I'm referring to, it's the one where you end up really living off of no transactions, no sales, bunch of credit card debt, and the worst case scenario is that you end up going back to looking for a job and working a 9-to-5. So at this point, I have either spoken to or helped thousands of real estate agents across the country. And believe it or not, as odd as it may sound, I can usually pinpoint who has what it takes to be a successful real estate agent, usually within the first 30 to 45 minutes of me just talking to them. The reason being are the traits I'm about to explain to you right now, and really the agent's willingness or stubbornness to act upon them. All right, let's break down these 10 traits that lead to failure now, shall we? Negative trait number 1 is a lack of speed. This is a big one, and oddly enough, speed has a direct correlation to motivation. You see, agents that usually have a lack of speed to execute usually say things like, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow, or I need to think about it, or oh, I don't like the way this looks, it needs to be perfect. What's worse is they actually get stuck in analysis and studying a thing, but don't actually make any forward movement, and then because of that, they end up getting left behind. All right, negative trait number 2, it is the inability to have a conversation. It's fact. The reality of real estate is it is a business based on relationships. Yet most agents are afraid to start a conversation, even if it's online. And starting a conversation on the internet is actually a lot easier than doing it in person. All right, negative trait number 3. It's the fear of saying no. This is also thought of as being thirsty or chasing or being way too desperate. In an industry where we eat what we kill, it's easy for an agent to just take any opportunity that crosses their plate. The problem with this is if you end up helping the wrong type of person, you end up with a client that just zaps all of the energy out of you when you try to help them. Or inevitably, this may lead to you not being profitable because this client just takes up way too much of your time, which is even worse. All right, negative trait number 4. It's an inadequate knowledge of your audience. Now, this is the agent that is completely nose deaf to the fears, frustrations, aspirations, and goals of their ideal clients. They also have no idea what their ideal clients' behaviors or interests are. So instead, what they do is they just bombard them with generic marketing information that is completely irrelevant to them if they don't live and breathe real estate. Reality is, it is a snooze fest to their audience, frankly, because they really just don't give a crap. So what ends up happening is they're gonna end up losing that business to another agent because the other agent shows that they care. All right, negative trait number 5, it is a lack of organization. These are things like keeping a messy contact list or not even having clear documentation of all of your activities that are designed to attract new leads, convert those leads into clients, or even deliver what you said that you're gonna do for them. Negative trait number 6, it is being too soft. Yeah, you heard me, it's the inability to handle rejection. It is the fact that real estate, it is a heavy rejection industry, and without thick skin, the activities that will lead to the next transaction will usually become self-sabotaged by the fear to act, because the reality is most agents that face failure, they're scared of a no. All right, trait number 7, this one is a biggie. It's not having the right sales skills. All right, I'm gonna go in on this one a little bit more because for some reason, most agents on a pathway to failure seem to think that they're really good at sales, when in reality, the transactions that they've likely had are from referrals or friends or family. Now in sales, we call these lie downs, and it's simply because there's absolutely no friction required to get these types of clients. And the reality is, when you put these agents in front of a complete stranger and tell them to turn this stranger into a client, they are typically ill-prepared and will fail. And that's because they lack the basic knowledge in sales conversation skills to know how to handle a conversation to convert a stranger into a client. All right, negative trait number 8, it is poor time management. Agents that have a pathway to failure fail to manage their time effectively. They're very lackadaisical, working on things that they know they shouldn't be working on, and they get easily distracted when times get tough. All right, trait number 9. This one I like because this one hits home. It is a resistance to technology. It's the idea that knowing something like digital marketing, for example, is the pathway to their success nowadays, yet they refuse to learn the thing that will actually get them closer to their goals. A negative trait number 10, this one's a biggie, and you can talk to any successful real estate agent, they'll call this one out too. It's a lack of follow-up. This is by far the Achilles heel of any, or I wouldn't say any, but most agents. Like, how many times have you heard an agent say, or maybe you watching this video say, that you could have had 1 or 2 more transactions, if not more, this past year if you had just followed up better? That's simply because most agents, they don't have a good follow-up system in place, nor do they have any accountability to keep that follow-up in check. All right, I just rambled off 10 negative traits that any real estate agent kind of faces on a pathway to failure. But the good part about this is, now that we've identified this, or these traits, we simply just gotta reverse engineer them or flip them, and we can now act on them so that we can change our trajectory to be more successful. All right, so let's flip these real quick. Positive trait number 1, instead of a lack of speed, the alternative is to act fast. It's to not think and just do. Progress over perfection. Agents that win are agents that move quick and implement. They analyze the results after they've implemented and then see if they worked or they didn't. All right, positive trait number 2. Instead of an inability to start a conversation, successful agents focus on the habit of starting conversations and committing to a number that they need to hit every single day. All right, positive trait number 3. Instead of being scared of saying no, successful agents know their capabilities and are willing to give a peer that business because that peer just may be better at it. They know that the money that they're gonna make on a referral will far exceed the amount of money they may end up losing by trying to take on this client themselves because they just lack the experience. All right, positive trait number 4 is that instead of bombarding their audience with irrelevant information because they just don't know anything about them, a successful agent will get to know their audience instead. They'll ask questions, they'll send out polls, they'll send out surveys to do this just to get some intel so that once they have this intel, they can start talking about more relevant stuff. All right, positive trait number 5 is that successful agents, they document their process. They have SOPs for all of the tasks that they currently need to do for attracting, converting, and fulfilling on the needs of their clients, as well as dashboards to track activities. They use these dashboards also to make better decisions so they can create more profit. All right, positive trait number 6 is that successful agents look at rejection as a numbers game. They're not scared of the no. They just know that for every X amount of no's, it will eventually lead to a yes. So instead of focusing on a no, they stack the no's to try to get as many no's out of the way quickly so that they can get to the next yes. Positive trait number 7 of a successful agent is that they'll go out and get education on how to have successful sales conversations. They'll go in and talk to mentors and coaches. They'll get access to scripts. They'll practice those scripts. They'll role play. And most importantly, they'll get the repetitions by talking to complete strangers. And that's simply because they know that their confidence and skill will grow with the amount of additional strangers they talk to or number of calls that they take. All right, positive trait number 8, super easy one, is that a successful agent will time block their time. They will stick to a time block and work on whatever is the most important thing on that time block. Positive trait number 9 is that the successful agent will invest in themselves to continue to learn and grow. Times change and technology changes. So a successful agent will spend a lot of their time learning a new thing, even if that thing is at a high level, just to be able to teach it, or maybe hire someone to be able to do the thing to get a desired result, but they'll still invest in learning the thing so that they can grow. And then lastly, positive trait number 10, it is that the successful agent has systems to follow for follow-up. They will have multiple ways to follow up with their clients so that they will forever create the know, like, and trust within a client to either gain more business or have their clients refer them more business to really just grow their database. All right, anyways, we jam on a lot more about this stuff inside of our free Facebook group. And if you enjoyed this video, highly recommend you check out this one here. Bye for now.